Welcome back to our Matter unit. This is for grade 2 and it's unit 3 and we are in week 9. This week, you're going to be continuing to learn and to review about some of the states of matter. I know that earlier in the unit you looked at them very briefly and you kind of skipped around to see different types of states of matter, but this week we're going to be doing an exploration where you are going to actually hopefully be enjoying some sort of meal with your parents and you're going to help them cook it. So the first thing that I want you to do is make sure this week that you are working with a parent because you'll be working with your stove, and I don't want anyone to get hurt. And your parent might be the one doing most of the work, but you'll still be making some observations. So before I want you to go into your instructions for week 9, I want you to quickly jump ahead to the math connection. And I'll go through it really quickly. And with this, make sure that you know that you are going to be measuring different things. So with your parents, and this will make more sense when I go through the actual instructions, you're going to make sure that you write down the measurements of what you'll need, so how much water you'll need, how much of different items you'll need. An example of that would be just listing them. So 4 cups of water. As we learn about measurement and data, which is our next unit here for math, you're able to use measurements to measure different amounts of things. So make sure that you complete this as you're working, and that's why I pointed it out first. As for your instructions this week, the first thing I want you to do is you are going to decide on something to make on the stove that involves boiling water. So some examples of that might be making macaroni and cheese or ramen noodles, or if you are making pasta of some sort, or it really could be making anything. So it could even be making soup with ice cubes in it. That's completely up to you and your family what you'd like to make, but enjoy it. Make it something that you like so you can have it at the end and have fun with this exploration. As you're doing that, I want you to take as much water as you need for the recipe to make your food. And before boiling the water, I want you to take an ice cube and feel it. And remember, ice is another form of water, so you can use that as part of your water. On your review document, which you should open up right away, I want you to create a subtitle called Food Exploration, and that's where you're going to be housing all your notes for this week. Then, I'd like you to write down what the ice cube feels like. So make sure you write it in a sentence, and you can even use this prompt. The ice cube feels blank. So is it hard, soft, cold, warm, wet? Tell me a couple words about how it feels. Again, before boiling that water, place the ice cube into the standing water that you have. Write down what the water looks like and feels like. So again, use this writing prompt. The water feels like blank. So remember, this is before you start cooking. I don't want you to put your hand in the water after you start cooking because it could be very hot. So just as a disclaimer, when the water is room temperature, that's when I want you to touch it. Lastly, as you boil the water, watch what happens and write down, again, this writing prompt in a complete sentence. The steam looks like blank. And for this one, I don't want you to feel it because steam can be very dangerous if it's too hot for you. It can actually burn you, even though it is a vapor in the air. So for this one, I just want you to tell me what it looks like to you. After you make your observations, make sure you answer the following question using the picture to the right, these 3 pictures. Which of each of the pictures to the right do you think represents a solid, liquid, and gas? So one of these would be all of the molecules in a solid, a liquid, and a gas. So you can number these, or if you want to just take a screenshot and put them in and label them, that's completely fine as well. At the end, make sure you enjoy your food with your parent. For your literacy connection this week, I want you to have your Unit 3 lab report open up, and you're going to be completing the experiment a second time. It's always important that scientists complete an experiment more than once to confirm their observations and their conclusions. So last week you completed it 1 time. This time you're going to complete it a second time, and make sure you write your observations this time under experiment 2 so that I know that you did this 2 times.